Hey, welcome to the Dripping Stone Podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation.
You think we think we should have a conversation on this one?
I don't know. I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, no, we should.
Why?
Well, that's just what we do.
We can just sit here in silence for 45 minutes,
roughly.
Yeah.
Same amount of time.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's gonna throw off the blooper reel at the end.
No, it's just more silence.
So yeah,
Or just like, huh, every once in a while.
we both got there.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't hear that in stereo. Can is there a way you can do that? Have one of us play through one ear and the
I
other?
can. Yeah. It's
Just not worth the effort.
well, to separate stereo and mono and then back to stereo, like it's a pain.
Right, I bet,
like we could do it. You want me to do it?
Nah.
Okay.
No, it's not worth it for the one sniff joke that we had.
Sure.
Anyway, you're Nick,
I am Nick, and you are Kyle.
and I am Kyle.
Yeah.
How you been, man?
I've been. Yeah, things have been good.
Excellent.
In terms of when we're recording this, I'm actually headed out to Austin for a little bit of a trip with a couple of work friends.
Cool.
By the time this airs, I would have been back, so we'll probably talk about that.
Hopefully you have some nice stuff.
Hopefully, it's a bit of a barbecue trip.
You found some Weller Special Reserve.
It's everywhere.
Out
We'll
there.
call it Weatherland.
Yeah.
Weatherland.
Wellerland.
Weatherland. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a bit of a barbecue trip, so just kind of going out there, and we're gonna hit up some famous barbecue spots.
Eat some BBQ.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
How
That's
appropriate.
Why I brought it up.
How appropriate.
I want to speak it into existence that the trip is going to go well,
Yep.
and it's going to be a fun trip.
I like it.
Yeah. What about you?
Positive thinking.
How's things going for you?
Fantastic. Always living in the
Weatherland?
and
Gearing up for the Turkey Day holiday?
yeah, it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are deep in the third of the Burr months,
Yeah.
the November,
Yeah.
which is obviously turkey time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gearing up for it.
Yeah, purchase your turkey?
No, we nearly almost did the other day, honestly. Like
Yeah?
we were at the store and they had them. They had some big old turkeys. And we
Yeah.
almost went ahead and grabbed one of those. But we decided not to. I just don't think we were in the mood to like pick it up.
Yeah.
Like just physically.
Like physically
that
pick
day.
it up, right?
Because it looked cold. I just didn't want to do it. But then
Heavy.
honestly, like at the exact same store that we were going to get it, we just got an email of like, if you come and spend $150 here, you get it for free. So we were like, well, dang, good thing we didn't do it because
Yeah.
we can spend $150 at that store like nothing. That's not even half a cart.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
like just like the little toddler seat.
Yeah.
$150.
I thought about like, not that, we have a big family by any means, but I thought like getting like an extra juicy bird, like a big old bird.
Big old bird.
Big old bird. Like I'm talking like a 30
We
pounder.
had turkey for weeks.
Yeah, and just like splitting all that up and just like making stock and doing the whole thing.
Right.
But then like when I thought about that, I was like, that's a lot of work. I could just go get like a butterball turkey breast and be fine.
Right.
Have turkey for a day and a half and be good.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, exactly.
I just want that one day, then leftovers that second day, and I'm good.
That's it. I want no more turkey.
Done with turkey.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see.
We're right there, man.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
Yeah, getting excited for the annual pre-Thanksgiving and maybe even Thanksgiving shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, we vacillate between like you like that word?
Vacillate.
Yeah, maybe it's oscillate. I
I
don't
like the
I don't-
lean, like the Vaseline.
Yeah, yeah, Slide it
It's
all over your body.
slicked Woo! Grease Latin.
Some years we've attended your pre-Thanksgiving shenanigans.
Yeah.
Some years we show up on Thanksgiving
Yeah,
for
it's
our
the
own
preferred day.
shenanigans. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the more relaxed.
Yeah. More chill,
Yeah.
a little bit more coherent.
Yeah, and at this point, in terms of us recording, I ain't sure what we're doing because we might go away for this holiday.
There you
Who
go.
knows?
There you go. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
We're good.
You'll be the
I
first to know.
appreciate it.
Yeah, or we'll just show up on your doorstep,
I'm sure that won't be a problem.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's always a thing. You want to drink something?
Nah. Just kidding. Yeah, absolutely.
I was about to say, well, I'm gonna drink something.
What you got?
I got a bottle that I picked up. It wasn't really on my radar.
Yeah?
It was on your radar.
It was
Like,
on
hey,
my
keep your
radar.
eye out for it. And then I found it. It's Ardbeg BizzareBQ.
Yeah.
You heard about this?
Yeah, because I told you about it.
Oh, that's right. You knew about it. Where did you see it? On the interwebs?
On the interwebs, and I follow Ardbeg as a whole because I like Ardbeg.
Sure.
And I knew that they were releasing this. It's a relatively new release. Within the last maybe 6 months. I think it came out over the summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
And as soon as I saw that this was part of their kind of experimental batch kind of thing, I was like, Yes, because that's what Ardbeg has slowly become known for, is their experiments in the Scotch world.
Right.
They came out with Ardbeg.
Yeah, right.
They came out with Scorch, I forget what it's called.
Just Scorch.
They Supernova, and I mean just a slew of different things. Heavy Vapors, Heavy Punk. No,
Yeah, punk something. Punked, or I don't know. Yeah,
something punk. So I'm interested in Scotch as a whole,
Agreed.
as we know, and I'm interested in a pretty big distillery
Right.
willing to experiment on the level that they are.
What do you know anything about the bottle, or just that it was special release?
Know a little bit, but I'd love for you to tell me more.
I got a little bit of bottle words on here that can help enlighten us.
I will tell you.
Yep.
The bottle words that you're about to read.
Yep.
Is all I know.
Oh, there you go.
But read it to me.
All right, so it's a grilling meats distilling, but not like MEAT meats, like meats distilling. But there's meat.
Clever.
Cartoons everywhere. Introducing Ardbeg BizzareBQ.
Yeah.
Our first ever barbecue-inspired whiskey. With the help of bona fide god of the grill, Christian Stevenson, a.k.a. DJ BBQ, this mouth-watering malt was cooked up by master distiller Bill Lumsden. Ardbeg BizzareBQ has been matured in a combination of double-charred oak casks,
Ooh.
Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, and our unique BBQ casks.
Nice.
I wonder what in the world that could mean.
That's a great question.
Together, they ignite a feast of aromas in hickory smoked ham, grilled artichokes, flamed steak, and cinnamon-dusted espresso.
Ooh. Wow.
Distilled and bottled in Scotland?
You just read a bunch of different things
Yeah, how
that
about
I'm
that?
interested in.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I wonder what a BBQ cask is.
I don't know.
What does that mean? Like, did you like
Took a brisket,
grill?
just rubbed it all over.
Well, or like, did you just like smoke a brisket and just like hold the cask above it and let all those aromas get in there and saturate the barrel?
You literally just took like the drippings from a barbecue pit and just like slathered it on the inside of the barrel. I don't know, but I can tell you what you just read is making me both thirsty and hungry for some barbecue.
Nick,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a smoky scotch.
Uh-oh.
Are you at all concerned about what this might ignite within your soul
Concerned?
for this time of year? Because we're getting there. We're right on the doorstep of smoky scotch season.
I know. Literally last week we just talked about like we're not there yet.
Right.
Am I concerned?
When do you think the official date is?
I don't think it's a date.
Is it
I think
pre-Christmas?
No. I think it's a temperature.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think it's temperature based, not date based.
I got you.
And for whatever reason, that temperature here tends to be early December.
Did you say our low for tomorrow?
No.
57.
Ooh.
It's gonna be nice and brisk in the morning for us.
Am I concerned?
Are you ready for it? Or are you just a little concerned? That maybe it's a day or two too early.
Listen.
Week or two, month? No.
Well, you've already taken off the wrapping there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have. Some.
You haven't opened it yet.
I had some smoky scotch the other day. I'm good.
I mean, I'm not going to turn you down. Is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Is this going to ignite it?
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with it. Is what I'm trying to say.
and that's honestly that's what happened to me the other day. I had a little smoky scotch, and I was like,
just like that.
Woke something up deep down inside me.
Was it audible?
Yeah. Here we did it.
Everyone comes running. What?
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
It's not okay. The smoke has been awakened. All right, let's get in it.
Do it. Nice. Pour it. Man. So in terms of scotch overall, that is pretty dark.
That's a pretty dark scotch.
Like, I'm impressed there, Ardbeg. It's got some color on it.
Yeah, faux show. Yeah, I mean, is it bourbon dark? It's pretty damn close.
It's damn close. If it's not bourbon dark, it's like bourbon adjacent.
Yeah, it's brown liquor for
sure. A lot of scotches, and to be fair, scotches run the gambit, man. Like, they are all over the place.
For sure.
But a lot of scotches tend to be on the lighter side.
Yeah, I mean, I would put this maybe perhaps more in like the marmalade, orangey category.
Sure.
Not quite all the way brown, but it's pretty dark. It looked real pretty.
On the nose?
Smoky sweetness.
Man. Like, malt forward, like, you get punched with the peat, but the peat's not like a bitey peat. Like a Lafroig is a bitey peat. It's more in line with a Lagavulin, like a really like warming peat.
Yeah, I mean, I put it right there in like kind of like the Ardbeg wheelhouse.
Yeah,
of like it's there, it's present, but it's not hugely overwhelming. But then it's like completely surrounded by this sweet, like barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
flavor,
like there's just malty richness.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Like what gives barbecue sauce its sweetness?
Usually like ketchup. No, brown sugar, molasses, like that kind of thing. Yeah,
I'm definitely getting that kind of a vibe from it.
Yeah, and I'm also like I'm getting the. You ever smelled a bottle of like Worcestershire sauce? You ever smelled a bottle of that?
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Sure. Yeah. It's like it's slightly smoky, but like salty and just briny and a little bit bitter as well. Like I mean.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
But it leans sodium.
But yeah, definitely. There's that note on the nose too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's something else in there. And I think as much as I want to say the briny nature is C.
Yeah.
I just think Worcestershire sauce.
Well, for sure like that or like maybe like soy sauce.
Totally.
Totally. Like, it's definitely got like some kind of like that umami kind of a quality to it.
And like maybe it's just because BizzareBQ, I'm thinking of barbecue. I'm like
playing into the
salted meat.
Yeah, just playing right into the advertising here. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of there.
You ever smelled a piece of like aged meat? Like you get an aged steak and like it feels.
No, I probably have never like nosed one.
No, have you ever had an aged steak?
Probably not.
It's got a certain funk to it, but like in the best way.
Right.
And this is the same. Like I'm not saying it's funky, but there's like a note that's like that's not normal.
Right. It's definitely like there are elements of it that like make me reminisce about like the Cory Reckon.
Yep.
With the same kind of like notes that are popping through. Cory Reckon obviously had a way higher proof on it.
Yeah.
But
did we say what the proof is on this?
No, I don't think I did. It's 50.9.
Okay, so 101.8. Thank you.
I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cory Reckon's 109, I feel like.
No, I think Cory Reckon was like it was in the teens.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's like a
117, 140, okay.
15, somewhere in there.
32.
Ugadal, I think, is a little bit lower. And I think it's like 112.
Oh, okay. Smoked honey.
Yeah, with like just like that briny kind of thing on it though.
Yeah, you're eating
soy sauce, a little bit of soy.
You're eating
mixed
like
up in your honey.
Smoked honey wings on the ocean side.
Delicious. Bring it on. Gonna be a curveball. It's gonna match up.
I was gonna say like I believe in Ardbeg.
Yeah,
and like but some things just
you never know.
Curveball it. Well, enough sniffing, time for sipping.
Let's go.
Do it. Dear God.
Holy shit. Wow. Can I say, when I read smoked artichokes, I was like, bullshit.
Whoa.
But nah, that's a smoked artichoke in my mouth.
Whoa.
Man.
That is charcoal, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
That is interesting.
Holy
AF.
Man. And like the espresso note, super subtle, but like I get it. I see what they're saying. It's like smoky espresso.
I get this like really nice Scotland hug. Really nice Scottish hug here. That's what happened to me. I don't know why.
My goodness.
I also sneaking back up on me. Hold on.
You know what it's conjuring for me? It's making me think of like that the campfire used to taste something like this.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
I feel like that's what it's making me think of. Like the specific type of smoky quality that this has.
I know that when you and I have gone camping, we've mainly made it a steak situation.
Right.
Which I absolutely love. But every once in a while, when I go camping, especially when it's cold, I actually love to make a campfire chili. Mm-hmm. Bring the Dutch oven, which is 30 pounds of just cast iron.
Right.
Not that kind of Dutch oven.
Oh, right.
30 pounds of cast iron. So if you're gonna do this, you got to do the car camping thing,
right? Yeah, we're gonna move it 5 feet.
Yeah, and or we're gonna have a wagon. There's Cameron, an old friend of the show. Cameron knows all about the wagons.
Right.
But there's a certain quality to a campfire chili that does not happen with like just making chili at home, big pot of chili.
Sure.
And it's those like umami, meaty, charred bits that you just can't get outside of making it on a campfire.
Right.
Because you got to get that thing ripping hot. And that's exactly what this tastes like to me. It's not only the chili, because there's like some dried chili notes in there. It's not only that, it's the campfire that's cooking that too. So everything's kind of just imbued and saturated with this smoke.
Right.
In like the best way possible. It's a lot.
Right.
But a lot in the correct way.
We got to make that happen this year.
We do. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it.
Even if it is just car camping.
That is a ride.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, that's fun. Like, that is so different. Like, that doesn't really... I mean, I know I'm like it conjures up other things that we've tried and things like that, but like, it is so different from like 99% of every other thing I've ever had that it's like...
Wow.
Incredibly unique. And it's like, that's a blast to find something that different.
Yeah. So, remember when I told you that I had the Octomore? Sure. It was just like, it's too much.
Right.
I would say that this is headed in that direction of peatiness, but it gives you all the other notes that you really want.
Right.
This is peat that just keeps coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
3-4 sips in, like, it's still full peat.
You're still getting full peat, which is unusual because normally you get full peat, first 2 sips, peat's gone. This is peat with a vengeance, but it's not just peat.
Right.
There's a lot more interesting notes around it. That malty honey sweetness is just holding it all up.
For sure. Crazy.
Man.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I'm impressed.
Yeah. To be fair, because this one is so much cheaper than the other ones.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, why is that? And then like it's co-done with this barbecue chef.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay, is that just like a
gimmicky
kind of like a very like, oh yeah, no, if you're like in the area, like a localized thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're just doing it there, but then they just ended up releasing it everywhere. I was a little bit concerned of like, that seems odd. Damn it. This is so good.
It delivers.
That now I'm like, do I need to go out and get the other stuff? Are they going to be this different and unique and like interesting and give you so much?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're out and about and you see this, and you see another bottle and it's about that $80 range, buy it and I will pay you back.
Okay.
Because
all right. I'll keep my eyes open.
Damn.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
Because it wasn't on my radar yet. When you were like, hey, go check that out. Like, because I've never been that enticed by an Ardbeg special release because normally, again, they're up around that $200 mark. And so I'm just never kind of in that point. But you said that one, and then I saw the price, and I was like, all right, fair enough.
I just remember what the punk one was called. Ardcore.
Punk
something. I don't know, something like that.
Well,
okay, so how I kind of got more interested in the things that Ardbeg is doing, like same as you, like I'm not going to drop $200 on something that is a whim kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a special release that's different each time. You know, like there's a lot of things like you know, I paid a hefty amount for the cigar blend, but from what I understand, it's the same release year after year. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So if it was great here, chances are it's going to have a good chance of still being great.
And it's been around enough that
it's got a pedigree. Yeah, for sure. But like something like this where it's a different process each time. Yeah, absolutely. I want to try it, but man, it's going to suck if like, you know, you pick the off year.
Yeah. Again, I want to real quick just return to the fact that I've had about half of my glass.
Right.
And it's still damn peaty.
Well, and what's fantastic too.
Yeah.
It's still all over my palate.
Absolutely.
Like I'm getting this like great, like I'm keep going back to the espresso. It's like a dark chocolate espresso-y thing happening with like that honey that's still all over my palate.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I actually don't think this would complement barbecue very well at all.
No?
And here's why. It's so much smoke.
Yeah.
I think it actually might even overpower barbecue smoke.
I could totally see what you're saying. Like it might not be that complimentary of a thing. Like in which, you know, I would never go smoky Scotch to complement barbecue. I'd go the other direction.
Yeah, me too.
I would go give me like a coastal sweet thing.
Yep.
Because I don't want any smoke there. I want that to like complement.
I would even
battle.
I might even go like Irish whiskey over.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Like I'd go as sweet as possible almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Sweet as possible might be more like Mexican spicy something or other.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd go in the other direction. I wouldn't try to like match it with the smoky sweet thing.
Yeah. Like if you were to say barbecue in a glass, it's that.
Yeah, legit. Like if I just had a pizza and I was like, damn it, we should have had barbecue.
I got
the
it.
solution.
You know, you just had a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm craving barbecue. Don't you worry.
I've got just the after dinner drink for you. Legit.
Yeah.
Man. It like
Wow.
it is the aftertaste is barbecue, man. It's like some smoked barbecued chicken or something, like ribs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how cool is that? We are into our 5th year of doing this, and there's something that just pops and like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's different.
That's unique.
I mean, we've said this before, like we live for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like not that again, even last week's Toasted Barrel, like interesting.
Yeah, cool. That's something
But
different.
like then you hit something like that.
Yeah,
and
it's like yeah, that Toasted Barrel was like 10% different. Then you get something like this, it's like here's like 60% different, unique, something you've never had.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That's a cool bottle.
That is a really cool bottle.
Whew. Who knew?
Me?
Well, but that it just goes back to that same thing though. I think that like if you just stay in that, like, let's go all the way up to $100.
Sure.
If you stay in that $100 range, which granted, this fit in there barely,
Yeah.
but if you stay right there, unfortunately, the whiskey world is kind of doing you a disservice.
I don't disagree.
You know, like it's kind of just, you got to reach beyond that somehow. Find a way to have more access to what's available, because I think there's way more interesting things that are happening, but they're just not that accessible.
Yes.
And I think those things are like mind blowing. But it's like an elitist kind of like thing to be able to experience it.
And I mean, we are huge proponents of whiskey for all. I mean, I've got that tattooed on my right butt cheek.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I'm the one that drew it.
Yeah, you are. You didn't tattoo it because you were a little squeamish.
Well, I don't do tattoos. I mean, but I drew it out.
I know you drew it out. You weren't gonna, the one to do that.
Right.
You're squeamish. And it's not because of the blood. It's because
your butt cheek.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
I agree with you completely. Like, I wish that it were more accessible for people to try as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where like the whiskey festival and things like that come into play. Is like, if you are someone who can seek those things out,
Sure.
and you can, find interesting stuff,
Right.
Like, are you going to be able to buy several different $200 bottles? Most people aren't.
Right.
But could I afford a $70, whiskey experience in that way? Maybe.
Perhaps, yeah.
And I think that I'm not advocating for whiskey festivals as a whole, but like it's those kind of things, or it's a community like the Dreppenstone community, or it's a community like, these whiskey experience communities, where the downside of that is like people like, oh, bro, you didn't try that thing? How dare you?
Right.
But the upside of that is people like, you want to try that? Dude, I will, give me your address. I will send you a 2-ounce taster. No problem.
This is a $750. So I paid $80 for it.
Uh-huh.
So like, what I think I'm advocating for is do 325s at $50.
Sure.
So like so if you sell 2 of those, you actually sold it for $100.
Yep.
So like you're getting your profit.
Agreed.
More so, but it's not a smaller size, so that I have access to it.
Yep.
Where I might not be able to afford throwing $80 at a 750.
We've said this before too. I mean, even 50 mils or 100 mil tasters.
Yeah.
Like, charge me. And Ardbeg actually did this with their was it Monsters of Smoke, Masters of Smoke? It was some release like that, where they it was 3 bottles. It was like $50. It was 3, I think, 100 mil bottles.
Right.
And like, you got to experience
Right.
a lineup. Do that. Give me more of that.
Yep.
You're right. As a distillery, you end up probably making more money.
Right.
And as a consumer, you end up being able to try more, because that's what builds brand loyalty.
Right.
That's why. I mean, not that
tell me you wouldn't have bought that for 50,
right?
And then tried it, and you're like, damn, yeah, give me that 750, for 80.
Not
sure.
And like I go to Bunnahabhain. Not that I think Bunnahabhain is untouchable, but like Bunnahabhain's got me now,
right?
And
I'll try whatever they got. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Ardbeg could do the same thing very easily, especially if you're going to let me try a bunch of different things.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Again,
man.
I go back to Whiskey for All. I mean, I want to. That's got to be on a T-shirt, man. How have we not come up with that before now?
Whiskey for All.
Whiskey for All. Because to me, that's what it's about.
Yeah. For all who want it. And I want it all.
Okay, Bilbo. Yeah, no, I agree.
I can't imagine a better label either.
Oh,
where
it's
got
fantastic.
like this smoker with all this smoke coming out of
the kettle smoker.
Brilliant.
You love it. Love it.
Because that's what's going on in my mouth right now. It's like all this smoke is just.
It's so good.
I mean, it's literally like it's not that dissimilar from like smoking a cigar of like what's happening on my palate right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's all there. Crazy.
Man,
good bottle.
Great bottle. Well, speaking of which, now that we've got a great bottle, what do you want to talk about this week?
Something interesting that I saw recently that I think is a larger commentary just on where culture is inevitably heading.
Sure.
We saw a brief kind of preview of this summer in the summer blockbuster conversation.
Okay.
Which was the huge. Somehow we never talked about it directly, which was the Oppenheimer Barbie, the Barbenheimer, yeah, if you will.
And like I will.
When those were originally coming out, there was this huge conversation of which movie's going to be the bigger blockbuster.
Sure.
Not better movie, but just bigger blockbuster. And I think both of those movies. You saw both of those movies?
I did.
I also saw both of those movies, and I think there's an interesting debate amongst those two specific movies.
Sure.
Which one was the better movie?
Okay.
And I think there's an argument for both of those, honestly.
Okay.
If I'm fair about it. Not necessarily which one was more cinematic and which one was more had a focus on cinematography and direction and aesthetics and things like that.
Yep.
But just which one was like, had the better
overall aesthetic appeal, maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
There's an argument for both. I think they both had their elements to it. But more recently, within the past weekend, from when we're talking about this, there was another set of releases that was kind of on a similar spectrum. All right, so you had two movies release recently.
Yep.
That had their weekend box offices revealed. The first one was The Killers of the Flower Moon.
Martin Scorsese.
By Scorsese, starring DiCaprio. Everything you would imagine. Huge budget film.
Yep.
I would assume, having not seen either of these films.
Yeah.
I would assume this movie is high quality, the best cinematography.
It's Scorsese.
It's Scorsese. You kind of know what you're going to get. You're going to get a very professional, very aesthetic experience.
You're getting a film with a capital F.
Right. Yeah. And capital ILM.
Correct.
The whole thing.
Industrial Light and Magic?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know what kind of...
Maybe. Who knows?
There wasn't any kind of stuff like that. CGI. But that was also paired against the film adaptation, not adaptation, just the filming of...
The piecing together of...
Yeah, documentary style,
Yeah.
I would assume, of Taylor Swift's Era Tour concert series, which did not cost, in terms of movie-making budgets, very much.
No.
Cost very little.
Yeah,
because
in the grand scheme of things.
I'm sure there were, again, not having seen the film, I'm sure there were probably some interviews.
Oh, okay.
Things like that to make it more appealing so that it's not just watching a concert.
Maybe it is just watching a concert.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe there is nothing more than it. They just turned on the camera when she started and they turned it off. Maybe.
Just real quick, from what I understand about that film.
Yeah.
Air quotes film, is that it's like a piecing together of all of the songs over the tour dates thus far, but it's not just one concert. It's a bunch of different concerts cut together.
I mean, have you ever watched a movie that's like that? A concert movie?
Sort of. Yeah, I think I have. There was a Rush movie a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That I went and saw in the theaters. That was similar to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I The only one that I can think of that I've ever watched was
Captain EO.
Was actually it was Glee when they did the Glee concert series and then they released it as a movie. I did watch a bit of that. We during COVID we went on a big Glee kick.
Sure,
and that was on. So we had to watch it. And it seemed like that. It seemed like it was like they were piecing together multiple performances to get kind of the best thing.
Right.
And so I would expect that from any concert base. Like it's like Michael Jackson's This Is It.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that?
No, but I know what it is.
Like I watched that, and it was basically kind of the concert, the playlist, and then you'd be going through like Man in the Mirror. And like he sings this line, and then he goes to this line, but now he's wearing different things. Like it was like different rehearsal sessions and the whole thing of like trying to create what this was going to be.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of, assumed that must be how they do most of these concert style movies. But again, not a lot of actors.
Correct.
That you have to pay for.
Correct.
Cinematography and stuff like that's kind of already like decided upon. So I can't imagine there's a lot of discussion there.
Right.
Basically, for this Taylor Swift era's concert movie thing, it's reported that they spent about $20 million
for the Taylor Swift thing.
For the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas the Scorsese Killers of the
Flower Moon.
Yep. Was a $200 million budget film.
Yeah.
Because you do have a lot of big names.
You got salaries to pay.
You got salaries. You got Scorsese himself, and Apple, who fronted the movie, seems to have took the approach of let's give the professional whatever he needs to make a great film.
Right.
The box office came through.
Yeah.
After the weekend of these two movies opening.
Yeah.
And they more or less essentially like
the opening weekend.
The opening weekend.
Okay.
Just the what they consider the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sure.
And they more or less like flipped.
Yeah.
I think from what's reported, Killers of the Flower Moon came in at roughly $20 million. In their box office.
The production cost of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Taylor Swift movie made almost $100 million. So they've already quadrupled their production cost.
Whoa.
And that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild because like in my head, I would assume the majority of people who are going to see the Taylor Swift movie are predominantly people who've already had the opportunity at this point to have gone and seen the concert in person. Like I know several people who've gone to multiple dates of this concert.
Yeah.
Went to their hometown, traveled to a different city.
Yeah.
Went and saw it
Got
there.
the friendship bracelets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, wow.
I'm okay.
How interesting. Because I honestly, I can't wait to see Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. Me neither.
It's not something that I was like,
I'm not going
opening weekend.
No.
But I also have an Apple subscription.
Sure.
Thank you, Ted Lasso. And so I'll wait for it to be available in a couple of weeks. So that's where I'm at with that. I can't wait to watch it. I think it looks great.
Yeah. And I love Scorsese. You know.
Honestly, like there's not a Scorsese film for me personally that is like crushed it there.
The Departed?
Never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it's like it's just what I've heard of it. It's a slog. It's what, over 2 hours?
Oh yeah. Well, this is almost 3 or over 3
for sure.
Yeah. The Irishman that came out on Netflix a couple years ago.
Never watched it.
It's like 3 hours.
Definitely started it, but never got through it.
Yeah.
The one that I know I've watched, Shutter Island.
Shutter Island, sure.
I definitely made it through that one all the way, and that was super interesting. Great movie.
I am
nice turn at the end. Didn't see it coming.
M. Night Shyamalan. I am not surprised by this at all. One bit.
Am I surprised? No. Yeah, no, I'd agree with you.
I'm interested, and I think you're right. It's absolutely telling of where our society, culture, whatever, where we are.
Right.
I'm not surprised by it at all. For a couple of reasons. First of all, go back to what you brought up earlier.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer. The individual that's going to go see Oppenheimer.
Yep.
It's a certain kind of individual. For a variety of reasons. Yes, summer blockbuster, but also not summer blockbuster. It's not a popcorn movie. Came out in the summer. Not a popcorn movie.
Yeah, but they got a guy attached to it.
I'm not saying that. It's 3 hours long. It didn't feel 3 hours to me. But also, I like that kind of movie. I love Christopher Nolan. I'm going to go see a Christopher Nolan movie. It's made for me. Barbie, however, while ultimately I think that movie is made for me, which is maybe a whole other argument.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, that movie is not marketed to me. That movie is marketed. The Barbie movie is marketed to a certain age group. It's marketed to maybe that like.
Great question.
Tween,
who was it?
I don't honestly.
I think it was marketed to like teen to tween
girls.
Yeah,
that's not that movie. And I knew that, and I think I even told you this, having not seen Barbie at that point, knowing Greta Gerwig. That ain't the movie everybody thinks they're going to go see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I heard that from so many people, man.
Yeah.
Like, and people, some people are up in arms like, Barbie movie sucked. Wasn't what I thought it was. And it's like, I understand that. I 100% understand that perspective because you don't know Greta Gerwig.
Well, I don't think very many of them talked like the voice that you just gave.
What?
You said it very deep-throated. Very, that movie was not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know that a lot of those dudes had that complaint.
Well, okay. Carol and I watched a Barbie movie together.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Because of all of the statements that it's making. I thought Margot Robbie was perfect. I thought Ryan Gosling was perfect. I thought like the things that they were doing and saying with it, perfect.
Yep.
A current climature surrounding thoughts that the movie raises might not be conducive to the people who want to see that.
Sure.
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of people go see it that maybe didn't understand what they were getting into. Everyone who went into the Oppenheimer movie knew what they were getting into.
Sure.
Like nobody went to Oppenheimer. It's like, man, this was going to be just a raucous good time.
What the fuck's Batman? Shit.
Exactly. Nobody.
Was one bomb, one explosion.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Right. You know what I mean? Like nobody went to Oppenheimer thinking one thing and got a different movie. You knew exactly what you were getting.
Right.
A lot of people went to Barbie and got a different movie.
Yeah.
So I think Scorsese and Taylor Swift, very similar in that I don't want to be reductionist and say that the people who went to Taylor Swift are the same people who go to Barbie. That's not what I mean. But it doesn't surprise me at all because you have this huge pop icon and then you have an auteur. You have a capital F filmmaker.
Right.
Of course, that movie's not going to make as much.
Right. Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me at all.
What's the biggest box office Scorsese's ever had? I bet he's never had one opening weekend that cleared 100 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't imagine.
No idea.
Can't imagine that that's ever happened.
But yet we elevate that to like Scorsese's a filmmaker. Nolan's a filmmaker.
Yeah. But like, I would say there's a couple of caveats. The caveat of Nolan has made blockbusters.
Sure.
A lot of what made, Oppenheimer its money is the fact that
it's Nolan.
Nolan made it.
Right.
If anybody else, you take that exact same movie and put anybody else's name on it, put Scorsese's name on it, it doesn't make the number that it made.
Correct.
And it made a lot. Barbie 2, I would say that like even with like the negative reactions that some had for it, it's still the biggest blockbuster of the year.
Yeah.
Like it didn't hurt it.
No.
For it. And I think if anything, it made it better.
It probably made it better.
It actually like the word of mouth, the positive reviews far outnumbered any negative reviews that were coming in for it. Mm-hmm. And the word of mouth made more people, I need to go see it. Yep. I got to go see what this is all about. Whereas this now with Scorsese and the Taylor Swift movie, Scorsese, you have no expectation of a blockbuster. You have no expectation of this incredible spectacle of a movie. I don't think there's any Scorsese movies where it's like, do you remember that scene in The Departed?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't think you ever like
Gangs in New York.
Yeah, maybe. That might be like his biggest one.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that might be it.
Yeah, that probably is like his biggest.
Because you had a confluence of freaking Daniel Day-Lewis and DiCaprio.
Yeah, and Cameron Diaz at her height. Didn't last long, but it was there. Agreed. But like even then, like I know I totally went and saw that movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember shit about that movie.
Really?
Nothing. Like I remember like some like hacking scenes and
Liam Neeson going like to town on people.
Yeah, I remember that, but like I don't. And granted, probably wasn't at the right age, I guess, but like I totally remember going into that movie thinking it was gonna be
one thing and
kind of like a superhero style movie, and then like coming out, or not even superhero, but just kind of like I don't know, like Robin Hood, perhaps at the time. of these like big epic
Not that
battle
it's not
scenes.
violent, but it's not about the violence.
Yeah, the violence is gratuitous.
Yeah.
But
It's about
there are
all the other
long
side,
there are
yeah.
long swaths
Plotting.
of time
Yeah, yeah,
between those things
Yeah.
where it's like I don't really know who I'm rooting for. I don't know like what's really going on. And again, that was probably like the time period for me. But I was also like, having seen other blockbusters from the time period that I do remember. Jurassic Park fits right in. Like I know exactly what happened in Jurassic Park, and that happened probably a decade prior.
Right.
So it's not that like, I couldn't remember a great movie when I saw it.
Yeah.
It's just that movie didn't speak to me in any way.
I think like that might be it too. Like you go into the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie knowing what you're going to get. Like you're going to get Taylor Swift, one of the biggest, if not the biggest pop star on the planet right now.
Singing songs,
dancing. It's going to be great.
Yeah. You didn't have a chance to go see the thing live.
Here's your $15.
Yeah.
Go see the movie.
Yeah.
And the way they did it, I think it's like fantastic. She like sidestepped basically everybody and said, AMC, you gonna do this?
Yeah.
And they went, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And so like you know exactly what you're gonna get. And that's what makes like the Barbie aspect interesting, because like you thought you're gonna get this. You might have gotten something a little bit different.
Yeah, we actually challenged you a little bit.
You got
but ultimately, you got a
Barbie movie.
Yeah.
So like you knew what you were going to get. And with these other movies, you don't necessarily know. So the marketability of it is different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like what you said at the beginning of the conversation, like what is that a harbinger of, or a signpost of like the culture and times? I think that's just it. And that's always been the case of like this bubble gum. I know what I'm going to get what I expect to get out of it. It's safe. I love the thing. There's nothing wrong with the thing. Yeah, of course it makes a shitload of money.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you saw it, but like on social media, the Russo brothers, they have a social media presence.
Yeah,
and they
one or two people.
And
they follow
like
Drippin' Stone. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Scorsese was kind of critical.
Also follows Drippin' Stone.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Scorsese was kind of critical of like the MCU machine.
Yeah, he was.
At its height.
Yeah.
Saying like that's not cinema.
Yeah, that's not film.
Yeah. He made a recent, I don't know if it was a TikTok or what it was, but he made a thing about his dog, and his dog is named, damn it, I'm gonna blow it. His dog was named
Tony.
Well, no, it was named something film related. Like, this is my dog cinematography. I don't know. Something like that. But then like the Russos retorted with, oh yeah, that's so crazy. He plays with his dog. Here's our dog box office. And it's super funny. But it is that kind of like interesting take of like, yeah, maybe you do understand like how a gorgeous film can be put together and made. But at the same time, they took a $20 million movie and eclipsed you. Money wise,
hand and fist, like just wrecked you.
And it's just hard to like. I mean, I suppose you could say the same thing of like any art form, of that there is like this higher level of that art. There are like the artists who sell their work at Sotheby's,
sure,
at an auction, and they make millions. Damien Hirst,
yeah,
and then you have the lesser version, but like what's the lesser version that eclipses Damien Hirst like that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the artist that is making what you would call the lower form that is making way more than what the higher form achieves.
I mean, I guess
music,
like this is just what popped into my mind of like, think about Ferrari and Ford.
Perhaps.
Sure.
So is Ford, like that,
Ford's going to outsell Ferrari hand over fist.
Money too? You think Ford makes way more money than Ferrari?
I don't know, but I think like they're definitely doing volume wise way more.
Here's the argument against that. I bet Ferrari makes their money back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Scorsese, I don't think he's going to make his money back on that movie.
By the way, his dog's name is Oscar.
There it is. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's it. That's a funny TikTok. Yeah. It's really funny. Here's my dog box office.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Well, you got anything else?
No, it's just an interesting thing I like to think about because I am, as somebody who enjoys art.
Yeah.
And I enjoy cinema. I enjoy film.
Sure.
And I'll never watch that Taylor Swift thing. Like, I'll never watch that. Yeah. I'll never see that movie. But I do plan to watch the Killers of the Flower Moon because I think it looks great. But I just think it's interesting that just like, our culture as a whole, one was able to make a lot of money off of very little money invested, and another one that's going to have a huge amount of money invested is not going to make its money back.
Here's my final argument. I think that things like the Taylor Swift movie have to exist so that things like the Scorsese movie can exist.
Sure. Yeah. It'd be really like picture perfect if they were made by the same studio.
And to be fair, that is not me slandering the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert by any means.
No.
But that's just me saying, like, you have to make the movie that is not film cinema so that the movie film cinema can be made.
Sure.
And I think that that's where I disagree with Scorsese in that, like, sure, if you want to say Marvel is not cinema, not film, okay, I understand that.
Right.
But I also agree with the Russos. Here's my dog, box office.
Right.
So because box office exists, Scorsese can exist.
Right.
And the two are interlinked, and while they can be separated, they need one another.
Absolutely, and it's just like poetic justice that those two movies came out at the same time.
Yeah.
After Scorsese said what he said about Marvel, which I think Marvel clearly has those movies have such an army of artists and creators involved to create those movies. Whereas this movie that was a recording of a bunch of concerts had probably minimal crew to put that all together.
I mean, in terms of film-wise.
Just film-wise and creation-wise. Like, the work that went into the concert, huge. I'm sure that had a huge army of people that had to do that, but they were just kind of like capturing that, So that in terms of that went up against Scorsese and demolished him is kind of like...
poetic justice.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
I agree. Well, we'd love to know, what do you think about the Ardbeg special release BizzareBQ?
Yeah, because it's really interesting also.
It's can I say?
Yeah.
Even though we're here in the end of the year, if you will,
yep,
this might be one of the most interesting things I've had this year.
Oh,
That's saying a lot because I've had a lot of interesting things this year.
Sure. I mean, just whiskey-wise, though, it's hard to think of something that's been that different and unique right off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if I could really come up with something that's that specifically different than everything else.
Especially within its category. Just in the world of Scotch, hands down, wow.
Yeah.
That's just
cool.
So different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd also like to know, what do you think about the state of popular culture as it applies to this kind of battle between film, capital F, and film, concert Taylor Swift?
Yeah, it's that argument of like high art versus low art.
Absolutely.
And just where do you have like an interesting take on that?
Ooh,
or is there something
that's the title of the episode. High art versus low art.
It's always been there. There's always been this kind of push and pull. And I just think we're kind of at an interesting point in it right now.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Do I agree?
No, to the listener.
Oh, okay.
Do they agree?
Yeah, I'd like to know what other people think. Yeah. Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
Yeah, we socialize our media using the moniker Drep and Stone. DREP and Stone.
Is that one word?
It's one word, a singular word.
Oh.
Yeah, DREP and Stone. Mm-hmm. You'll find that wherever you socialize your media.
Yeah.
And if you just search for it, it's like we'll socialize it right back at you.
Yeah. We post there more than we'd like, but less than we should.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Accurate.
But if you tweet and or Insta and or
X,
TikTok us, we will respond to you because we love you guys.
Yeah.
On that note, hey buddy, may your glass overflow
and your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
We throw it against Oogie for comparisons. Hey, grab your straps just in case he starts to like chew on that shit.
Special weather statement, Austin, Texas.
Oh. Yeah. No, mine. I moved on to like this like honey soy mixture.
Yeah, that maple glazy goodness.
It's sticky.
Yeah,
it smells sticky. Barbecue cheers,
man. That was great.
Yeah.